Hi guys, this is Ben from Ben's RPG Pile, and today we're going to show you how to spruce up Paldemar's workshop inside D&D's 4E Thunderspire Labyrinth module. Our party has entered the Tower of Mysteries, and I decided to modify the second level of the tower. Particularly, Paldemar has a workshop. That's the bad guy that they're trying to get, and he's got this one portion of his workshop here that I felt had some pretty signature pieces, and I thought that's where I could kind of liven things up for the party. So you certainly remember good old Paldemar there, right? He's the villain that the group is trying to get, and the first thing is Paldemar has this lab, and inside his lab he has something called the Infernal Machine, and that's this bad boy right here. Okay, and this machine, it's supposed to allow Paldemar to control all the bronze warders around Thunderspire Labyrinth, but I decided to tweak that a little bit and turn it more into like a Frankenstein kind of thing, where he's actually building these guys right here. So he's actually going to build the bronze warders, and I wanted to make it more of a kind of take that kind of angle. So we're going to show you how we did that. First thing was I took a plastic case that I had lying around, flipped it on its side, and then poured in Woodland Scenic's water, and from that you let it dry about halfway through, and then you take these little tiny thin cocktail straws and you can blow some bubbles in there. I got a little nervous doing that though, because I was terrified I was going to inhale the toxic liquid and kill myself, but I did it a few times though, and if you look really close you can see a few bubbles. But we're going to show you how I made these this particular piece and the lab itself, so let's jump right in there. So we're going to start by showing you how we made the pieces of the bronze warder using a nifty material called instant mold. Try to get that in view here for you. So these are actually some pieces. I'll pop this open here. You actually can buy this online. We actually sell it at our store, gamersinaz.com. It's about $10 a pack, which is actually really reasonable. But they give you these sticks here, and you throw them in hot water, and they'll form to a sticky mold that you can apply to stuff and then pull off and cast. Now, there is a great tutorial on YouTube. Just search "introducing instant mold" and you'll get the best play-by-play there and how to do it. They all do it way better than I could do it for you. But you essentially throw these in hot water. They get real, you can move them around your hand and everything, and then what you do is you apply it to your mini, right? And then so you take the material and while it's all gushy and everything, and I literally would press it on the back of the miniature, right, like that. And you can kind of see right in our video here, it forms really amazing detail to the piece that you're looking at. And then you would peel this off, right? It would harden, and you would peel it off, and that kind of gives you that piece. Okay, and then from that you would pour like a hydrocal plaster into it, and then you would let it dry. And then you essentially get this, just like that. See? And sure, it's flat on one side, but you could cast another side, like you could do the front of them here, and then you'd have a full piece. But I only needed to have pieces like a Frankenstein kind of thing, so this worked out perfect for me. So see there, I casted his whole back, and then another time I did his arm. You can see I put the mold over his arm, right? And I took that, you just literally peel that off, and that gets you your mold. Okay, and then you would pour your plaster into that, and then it dries. Pop your arm out, just like so. and then you get your arm. See that? Isn't that neat? Okay, and you know, I needed to put pieces in our tank, right? So I also made some heads, and then I even hung those heads. I made extra ones, and I hung them on the wall with chains, like Paldemar, you know, was slowly making all the pieces he needed to make. So see, I put those on the chains like that. See that, and you get kind of like a whole creepy workshop kind of thing. And all I did was put the chain within the mold piece as it was drying, and then the chain would form to the piece, so it would become part of it. But move those up a little bit. See there? There's perfect heads, and all that's through this amazing little material called instant mold. And then when you're done with this stuff, you literally would throw this back in hot water, and it would reform into a ball, and you can do it with something else. So there's all sorts of cool ways you can reuse it again and again. But see, so there are my pieces I hung on the wall. Right, there are the ones I might scatter these around the workshop. You know, I might put them on like these little anvil kind of things, right? Like a little table. I might drop it on the table like that, like they're casting them or ironing them out or something like that. That'd be kind of neat. So, and then the paint scheme, that wasn't too much trouble either. I actually, to paint this piece right here, to give it that bronze ward, you can tell I'm pretty darn close. I don't know. I don't want to toot my own horn, but toot, huh? Look at that.
This first portion of our show brought to you as always by Powder Milk Biscuits, made of whole wheat raised by Norwegian bachelor farmers, so you know they're not only good for you, they're also pure mostly. Whole wheat that gives shy persons the strength to get up and do what needs to be done. Heavens, they're tasty and expeditious.
Next thing I'm going to show you guys is how I did the kind of like the pipes that carry all the liquid and stuff into the tank that Paldemar has, the infernal machine as he likes to call it. So let's show you how I made these. So nothing too crazy here. You head over to a Home Depot, and you can pick one of these guys up. You can pick a bunch of them up. They're like $1 a piece or some super cheap thing like that. And of course you take off a sticker. There's some stickers on them sometimes, and then you can't just paint this. If you try to paint this, this is going to, the paint won't adhere to it properly. So you actually have to sandpaper it. My sandpaper is a bunch of Hearst Arts material on it. That's funny. But you have to sandpaper this down. You gotta sandpaper it good, like to the point where your hands kind of worn out after you do it. But you know, 15 minutes, something like that. So sandpaper really good. When you do that, that gives it like a really rough feel, and that allows you to spray paint it black, you know, put on that initial prime it black, and then from that you can then take like a quick silver, and then you can just give it a little bit of that worn metal feeling. And then, you know, sometimes you're gonna have these goofy little dots on them and stuff. I just painted those red like they were some type of energy light or something like that, just to kind of, you know, so it didn't look too, they didn't look too out of place. But then, you know, then you can take your infernal machine here, right? And you can have one come in there. You could have one, whoops, I guess I got my back. Yep. You could have one come up top like so, right? You could have one go side to side like this. You know, you could have, before they get to this room, you could have one of these pipes like in a wall in a different room, and the group could find that, and then that would kind of lead to some mystery over, you know, what the heck is that pipe and where is it going? So the pipes give like a little bit of maybe a little preview of the room they're going to see, and then, you know, once you got it built, then you can kind of add this piece in and keep it modular. Let's talk about some finishing touches you can put on Paldemar's lab to give it a little extra character and, you know, help complete the whole room, as it were. So the first thing I'm going to show you guys are some pre-painted pieces from a place I can never pronounce, and it's Tourmalion. They're a European company, Thomarion, but You can buy their stuff, and you can either have it sent to you, and you can paint it yourself. And let me tell you, if you can paint this kind of detail, I salute you, because this is very difficult to do, and I just don't have that skill. I can paint big old blocky, awkward pieces. That's what I can do, where mistakes are forgiving. But when you get to this kind of detail, man, I don't have it in me. I actually go to this one place on eBay called Jan Solo Minis, and he'll actually you can buy this piece from him, and he'll paint it for you. And yeah, it is expensive. I mean, you're talking, anywhere from $25 to $50 for a piece. But I mean, you can tell just looking at it, the detail is incredible. And sometimes you got to pay for that special skill. And hey, maybe why don't you treat yourself once in a while? There's nothing wrong with doing that. So this is going to be Paldemar's. This is going to be in his lab, and then I'm also going to put in a little bookcase, like so. That's kind of neat, huh? All kinds of little ingredients and stuff like that. So that'll be in his lab. I might put this guy in there. Maybe he's got a few weapons in there, and a few more drawers. But I'm going to use these 3 pieces to kind of create that lab experience kind of thing. So there we go. So that's how we're going to add all the little books and stuff like that into the room. Okay. Next thing I'm going to show you is this is a great idea from Enigma. It's these tanks. Recognize these? These are the Bacta. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Bacta tanks from Star Wars. Remember old Luke Skywalker woke up in one of these things. You can actually get these on the interwebs. This is the Bacta tank from Imperial Entanglements, and you can hop over to Troll and Toad. You can get one of these for about $1.50. So Rob happened to have a few of them for me, and so we're going to intersperse these within the lab, and that will let kind of give more of that what else is going on in this thing. The module calls for an imp, so we got him kind of floating around, walking in there. There's our bookshelf to help complement the lab. Of course, there's a steel door on there because Paldemar's not going to let you walk in there. I got a few ingredients that I put in there, the hay, and then I made some Herstart's accessory mold little grain bags and put some different colors on there to show different materials, right? And then, of course, we've got the partially completed bronze order pieces chained to the wall. There are the heads, maybe they're drying off or slowly starting to form magically, and there's a torso we got as well. And so that turned out pretty good, huh guys? I'm a really big fan of that room so far. But see, just look how you can take a room from a module and really kind of make it your own. Just to show you real quick, there's the spot where the group would teleport to. I used some dungeon tiles to I kind of immerse them, and that way they blend with the Herstart's molds. So and then those are Dwarven Forge columns right there. And then there's a bronze warder patrolling the hallway. And then here are our tanks, right, with a little Norker guard in there. The Star Wars tanks, but oh, doesn't that look great?
In constant sorrow all through his day, I am a man of constant sorrow. I've seen trouble all my day. I bid farewell to old Kentucky, the place where I was born and raised.